Scanning for audio.
Hello and welcome to the Tin Dog Podcast, this time covering the new DVD release, Day of the Daleks. Yes, it's no secret that Pertwee is amongst my all-time favourite Doctors, and Day of the Daleks is the only exception to the rule of me not liking stories that contain time travel. Yes, and that sadly still includes last week's The Girl Who Waited. Is it me or were you expecting Amy as a girl to be in this? You know, little Amelia? Oh, it doesn't matter about that. I'm not there to talk about that or its influences from certain Troughton stories. No, we're here to talk about a lovely 2-disc DVD release. The basic premise of someone nipping back through time to prevent a war, and rather sadly, possibly starting it, is not a new premise. It's the plot of Terminator. It's the plot, therefore, given the amount of under-the-table deals that were done with Harlan Ellison, the plot from the Demon with a Glass Hand and Soldier, both Outer Limits stories. But even then, the origin is not, as well noted. And let's just say Harlan Ellison does not have the whole of paradoxes sewn up for his copyright. Lots and lots of the 1950s writers wrote lots and lots of very nice stories. So as usual, Doctor Who borrows from certain stories and gives us something new and fresh. Oh, Harlan Ellison is also the man responsible, supposedly, for saying Doctor Who is the greatest TV programme of all time, and if anyone disagrees, I'll go outside and fight with them now. So let's face it, the guy's always going to be quite high in my regard. So, as you probably guessed, Day of the Daleks consists of a time travel paradox. Now, if some of the wisest amongst you may have spotted, it's also got the Daleks in it. What surprised me when I was doing the research for this is that it didn't always have the Daleks in it. Obviously, it probably would have had a different title, otherwise people may have complained. It did have 10 million viewers, and if the Daleks hadn't have turned up, I'm sure somebody might have kicked off. I first experienced this story back when it was on VHS, and then again when it was repeated on TV. I just loved it. Now I know a lot of fans have kicked off and made a fuss and took the mick out of the fact that the Dalek voices are a bit wrong and that there's an invading army of Daleks numbering 3. But hey, there was 4 Daleks at the Battle of Canary Wharf, and only one of them was needed, and that was Pest Control versus the Cybermen. Here it's versus the unit troops, and in fact the combined forces guarding some political meetings. That's not important. I can completely believe in the 3 Dalek army. I never really had a problem. Some people did. The Ogrons, yes, when you watch them as an adult you go, what's going on there? These are the monkey-like, ogre-like henchmen of the Daleks. But that's only if you watch it with a cynical head, and I know as a Doctor Who fan we have cynical heads. It's what we do. But I just love watching this. And when I found out the DVD was coming out, I was very pleased. When I found out it was a special edition, I was very, very pleased. Now, I know a lot of us are torn about whether the special editions should even exist in the first place. But the guy making this, his heart was completely in the right place. He wanted to make the story that he remembered in his head seeing, not the reality, the thing that just moved him and impressed him. And let's face it, as Doctor Who fans, that's something we feel anyway about practically every story we've ever seen. So yes, I could ramble for, a hell of a long time about how great this story is, but it's the special edition that intrigued me the most. Nick Briggs has been brought back on board to give the Daleks a more Dalek-y voice, and more impressively, using a lovely, lovely 16mm Ariflex. You know, you can take the boy out of the filmmaking, but you can't take filmmaking out of the boy. I just want to play with an Ariflex. And that's not something you hear too often in any podcast. The 16mm film camera has a massive and noble tradition, a great history, and something people should really talk about on a different podcast. I don't want to bore you all rigid but it's a great piece of kit. The 16mm camera uses old-fashioned film, obviously, that is 16mm across, half the size of a normal movie projector. You know what I mean? Now, film has a certain quality. If you film everything on film, you get something that looks like, well, the very first Pertwee story. You can regrade it and reshoot it, and it looks fabulous. But it's still 16mm. It's still a very small print. The Arriflex was the best 16mm camera, arguably with the Bolex, but that's a whole different... Yes, I did say Bolex. It was a make. Let it go. I love this camera, and we used them at university, and that just shows you how long it's been since I've been there. Anyway, what they've done is they've gone away. They've gone to the original location. They've got new unit soldiers. They've got new Ogrons. They've got a new Dalek, and they've shot new footage, and they've degraded it and made it look seamless. They've got new CGI effects on top to make the guns look great. The time travel effect looks, well, hell of a lot better than it did. And let's face it, the whole thing just looks spectacular. It's still not as good as the Doctor Who story that's in your head when you remember the original, but nothing really could be, could it? But as always, it's the extras that bring people back, despite the fact that this is a fabulous story, and if you don't already own it, you should buy it for that reason. I can't recommend it enough. It's actually one of my all-time favourite stories, never mind one of my all-time favourite releases. But let's look at the extras. Now, the commentary on this one, you've got Anna Barry, Jim Winston, you've got Barry Letts, yes, still in there, you've got good old Terence Dix, and Vision Mixer Mike Catherwood. Now, you don't get to spend a lot of time with Vision Mixers. They weren't even credited on the show. The role's very important, especially on something like this, so it's well worth paying attention just for that. Yes, you've got your new CGI and your new redubbed and remixed soundtracks. Well, they had to redo that because it was a mono recording and you have to get rid of the original Dalek voices before you put the new ones in. A view from the gallery. Now, this is the Vision Mixer and Barry Letts discussing the job of vision mixing. It's incredibly fascinating. You've got some clips from Nationwide and Blue Peter here. The making of Day of the Daleks. Again, just as in-depth as always. And here we come to the good stuff. The Unit Family, Part 2. Beyond that, we've got the Unit Dating Conundrum. There is a whole podcast on unit dating, which I refer you back to. I'm sure you can find it somewhere on iTunes. The Cheating Memory Feature. Now, this is a small film that deals with exactly what I've just been talking about. How great Doctor Who is when you remember it versus how great it is when you finally get to see it. You get to see the teaser trailer for the special edition, again with the ordinary photo gallery and the subtitles, and my God, I love those production notes. And the PDFs of the Radio Times. You know, if they ever removed those, we'd all kick off. We never look at them, but we would kick off. And last but by no means least, Colony in Space as the coming soon. Colony in Space. I will be covering that in the next couple of weeks, right here on the Tin Dog Podcast. So, because I'm pushed for bandwidth, suffice to say that this is a fantastic DVD release. And go on, you might as well buy it. Don't wait for it to come down in price. Buy it now. Go on. Yeah, now. Right, I'll be back very soon talking about, I don't know, the God Complex or something. Oh, before I go, I just want to say that there's been a lot of Tin Dog podcasts released in the last few weeks. Reviews of Hooverville, the last few episodes of Torchwood, and of course, the proper Doctor Who reviews. So go back to iTunes and check to make sure you've not missed any. Because, you know, you might have. It's not a crime. Either way, be seeing you. You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.